What's up, y'all? It's your boy Mercy, and I'm back with another video. I'm back with another video. I'm back with another video. Y'all get into it. More seriously, how y'all doing? It is your boy Mercy. I'm back again with another video for y'all today. I really am back with another video. Yeah, I want to talk to y'all about something very serious today. But before we get into any of that, make sure you go ahead and subscribe to my YouTube channel if you haven't done so already. And if you haven't already, I don't know what you're waiting on. Go ahead and subscribe. I'm gonna give y'all a little bit of time. Just go ahead and do that like right now so that we can go ahead and get that out of the way. So you don't forget, friend, because I know how it can be. So go ahead. Go ahead and click that subscribe button. I'll wait. Y'all done? Y'all ready? Bet. Okay. So I want to talk to y'all about something very, very important. And something I'm pretty proud of. How I turned my car loan, aka some people call it car notes, from a 6-year car loan from what I signed for to a 2-year car loan. And after that point, the car's been mine ever since. So let me give y'all a little bit of context. In nursing school, I had a 2005 Chevy Cobalt. The Chevy Cobalt took me to clinicals. It took me wherever I needed to go. It took me from point A, B to C, as we often call it, and even took me from South Carolina to Alabama. So it was a good car. It wasn't the most luxurious car. It wasn't the, I guess you could say, the nicest looking car. Didn't have all the bells and whistles, but it was paid for by the time I graduated nursing school. It was my car. It was mine. It didn't have a loan. And lifestyle creep happened when I graduated nursing school. I'm gonna tell y'all how it happened. Something called lifestyle creep, if you haven't heard of it. Lifestyle creep is when you start making more money, so you feel like you have to spend more money, or you feel entitled to spend more money. And so that's what happened to me. I talked about it in a previous video on YouTube, on my YouTube channel. I graduated nursing school, and like a lot of y'all, I know a lot of y'all think the same way, because I did. I was like, oh, when I graduate, I'm gonna get me another car. No, actually, back it up. I, at one point, said I was gonna get another car. So somewhere in my head, I was thinking right, but then it just flipped over. I was like, oh no, when I graduate, I'm getting me another car. So that it didn't last long, because before I knew it, I was like, oh, I'm gonna get me another car. So I was like, oh, when I graduate, I'm gonna get another car. Yes. And I wasn't really like actively pursuing it. I think one day, not even lying, y'all, I was out riding and I was like, oh, they go to Kia dealership. And I always thought Kia Souls were just the cutest cars. Anybody out there can relate? I always thought Kia Souls were just so cute. Like, I don't know, like, I always thought they were just so nice. Like, so just cute, like a little box. I was like, oh, I want to be a Kia Soul. So I went to Kia Soul. And that's what I got that day. That's what I got. So I went to the car dealership. I'm just kind of trying to play with numbers and see, oh, how much would it be? How much would the car payment be? Could I pay it, And by this time, I'm a nurse. I'm making money. I probably had my car for a few months after I graduated up until this point, right? Then started making money a little bit. So I'm like, oh, I'm feeling myself a little bit. Go to the dealership. They give me the numbers. Now, at this point, I'm an amateur. I really don't know how dealerships work. I really don't know, like, how they get you. So I'm looking at the numbers the lady then gave me. I'm like, oh, I think I can do this. I think I can do this. At the time, my car payment, she had given me 3 numbers, and I think the number I had picked was $500 a month for a car payment, which is not the average. The average car payment right now in America is nearly $700. Yes, $700 car payment. And if you know that, you probably know this if you have a $700 car payment or somewhere near, I'm telling the truth. That's the average car payment right now. But at the time, this was 4 years ago, my car payment was $500. $500 on the Kia, right? Got the Kia. I remember like it was yesterday. Got in the car, about to test drive it. One of my favorite artists came on, Jacqueline Carr, It's Yours. So I'm thinking, oh, that's confirmation. That means this car is mine. That means I'm supposed to be in this car. All the things, right? Got the car. And this is just, and I don't know if y'all have watched, for y'all that truly are loyal to my channel, if you watch my channel, you know that my car got stolen, and this is the same car that got stolen. Yes, same car that got stolen. But, fast forward, I get the car, whatever. This car got stolen. I started looking at Honda Accords. I was like, oh, I really want me a Honda Accord. I want, not just any Honda Accord. This was the Honda Accord Sport. This was like the 2021 Honda Accord Sport that I was looking at. I was looking at 20s, 21s at the time, Not real different, a whole lot of difference between the two. Only real difference is if you get a Sport versus like a regular model, base model. So I'm like, I really want me a Honda Accord. But I didn't take the jump because I was like, you know what? This Kia mine, I was supposed to have it. I ain't getting no more cars, right? I'm just going to keep my Kia. And I loved my Kia. My Kia Soul. I had a 2020 Kia Soul at the time. Car got stolen. I did a video on that. Y'all check it out. I did a video on that. Car got stolen. Insurance company paid for me to get another one. Got another one. Or made it easier for me to get another one, right? Got it. I got the Kia Sport. Kia Soul. It was a sport model. Loved it. Blue, royal blue. My favorite color is blue. Got it. I was like, oh God, I love this. I got the sunroof. Now this one had the sunroof. This one was push start. This one had a little bit more than the other one. This was a 2021 Kia Soul. So I'm like, ooh, I'm feeling this one. But I still was looking at the Hondas. I'm still looking at I was like, well, I should just got a Honda Accord, The Honda, y'all know how the Honda Accord look. The 2021 Honda Accord, the 2020 Honda Accord. I'm looking at them. They're nice, right? They're nice. Now, I don't know what's going on with this 2024 model. Some of them look okay, some of them don't. I think the rims make or break them. But that's neither here nor there in this conversation. So one night actually, I'm researching. And I'm like, ooh, how much are the Honda Accords? And I'm like, oh, I think I can do this. Well, and then I'm also looking up, what does it mean if I trade in my car that I have now that I just got? Maybe a few months ago, I just got now. Keep in mind, just got this car. Now, I ain't gonna lie to y'all. On the Kia, the second Kia, because I had got two Kias. The second was a sport model. On the second model that I got, my car payment had went up to $700. I'm real transparent. My car payment went up to $700. It was $500. It went up to $700. But I'm blinded. I'm like, oh, it's the Sport. They get you good at the dealership. Oh, you know what? It's only for 72 months. You get all the bells and whistles. You get all of this. This is why this one is more, because da-da-da-da-da. Naive. Didn't know any better at the time. So I'm like, okay, bet. So, I get the $700 car payment. My car payment was like, what, $701 on this second Kia, right? $700, y'all. I can't believe I did this. $700. Got that. I'm researching, right? Fast forward, I'm researching. A few months later, I'm researching. Maybe like a month or two later. I'm researching what happens if I trade in that car I just bought. I'm looking up stuff. I'm like seeing different stuff. Like, oh, you'll be upside down. Didn't really know what that mean then. I just want the car. How a lot of y'all are. You graduate nursing school. That lifestyle creep. Oh, I'm making money. I can do what I want to do. I can spend what I want to spend. I can spend. And I'm like, oh, I'm working overtime. I'm doing this. This was when COVID was still kind of like up there. So we was making money, okay? I was like, oh, that ain't no thing. $701. That ain't no thing. I can do that. I can just work an extra shift and make that, right? Wasn't even worried about it being upside. I was like, I just want it, and I feel like I deserve it. That was my mindset. I was like, I deserve it. Okay. Went to the dealership. Of course they sucked me in, right? Oh, why you got this? These Kias ain't no good car. They dogging Kias, right? They dogging Kias. Kias ain't da-da-da-da. If you would've got a Honda, you would be paying bit more for your buck. So they bring the numbers out, right? This is how they do. They brought the number. They let me test drive it. Fell in love with it. Because I already had wanted it anyway. Fell in love with it. They got me a blue one. Brought me a blue one out. Oh, you like blue? Yeah, I like blue. Got me a blue one. It was a sport model Honda Accord. Same one I got to this day. Fell in love with it. Smooth, drove smooth, everything. Fresh car scent. You know how they get y'all. You know how they get you. And y'all car salesmen know what y'all be doing. So anyway, we go back inside. He gonna run my credit or whatever. He bring me 3 numbers. Look, I know what it looked like, man. You got, this one, 3 numbers, y'all. One was 700. I think it was like 700 and it went up from there. I don't remember it being any cheaper because I wouldn't have taken, my mind back then, I wouldn't have taken the higher car, I would have taken the lower car payment if possible. So 700 was like the lowest and it went up from there, right? Okay. Well, you know, if you get this car, this is how they do it. Well, if you get this one for $700, you know, at least it's a Honda you driving and not a Kia, and you will get more for your money with the Honda. Hondas hold their weight longer. So you really are not losing any money. Y'all, I wish I knew how that sounded. I knew how it sound now. I wish I knew that then. So I let him bamboozle me. I still can see the guy's face in my head. Bald-headed black guy, dark skin. I wish I could still see his face, but I'm looking at him and I'm like, oh, okay, you know, something in me is like, don't do it. But some other part of me is like, maybe that was the Holy Ghost, maybe that was God, you know? But something else in me was like, ooh, I want it. I can get it. I deserve it. I done went to school. I work all these hours. I take these 6 patients, no tech, da-da-da-da-da. I work hard. I'm going to get it. I only work till 9 to 10 o'clock. I'm going to get it. So that was my mindset. I deserve it. I'm going to get it. I'm going to go. I'm going to take it. I can make the payment. That was my mindset. I dropped, $2,000 on the car. I can't remember how much I put down on the car. But put a little money down on the car, you know. And I had signed for a $700 car payment on my Honda Accord. And it didn't really hit me, y'all, until later. I was like, wait a minute. I really did that. I got a whole $700 car payment. I got a whole $700 car payment. I ain't start feeling it. Listen, I ain't start really feeling it till maybe like a few months down the road. And I got a call. This is what happened. I was on vacation. Y'all. I was in, what was I? Puerto Rico. Yeah, just got to our Puerto Rico Airbnb. And the Department of Education called me. She was like, hey, and I'm paraphrasing, she's like, hey, you know, you gonna have to like pay these student loans, because they kept saying student loans were gonna start back. They were gonna stop, they were gonna start back. You gonna have to pay these student loans already. Like, they starting back, you know, how you wanna do it. Like, basically what she's saying, like, my student loans was gonna be $400 a month by themselves. I was like, this is not gonna get it. Like, I was like, this is not gonna work. I was like, I got a $700 car payment. I'm having a $400 student loan. I was like, So I don't know how I came across this guy on YouTube, and most of you may have heard of him. His name is Dave Ramsey. I don't know how I came across him. I think God sent him my way. I honestly do, and I credit him because I don't remember nobody telling me about Dave Ramsey. Now, I came across Anton Daniels because somebody at my job had told me about Anton Daniels. But Anton Daniels is something like Dave Ramsey, but he's a little different. He takes a different approach. But Dave Ramsey is who I came across initially. And I began to watch his videos. I see the people was doing the same stuff I was doing. Same stuff I was doing, Dave would give them his little commentary. I was like, dang, that is right. I began to get plug in, like, wow. Like, I just started learning so much about just wealth and car payments and money and saving and spending and debt primarily. So I was like, dang, Zay, we got to figure this out. Now, y'all know by that time, by 21, late 21, I'm travel nursing. So I had started, so I was like, listen, I said, self said, we got to get out of debt some kind of way. We have got to get out of this debt. Like, this is not gonna work. So my 2 biggest debts at the time were my car payment. Y'all, my car loan was like $40,000. And I think my boyfriend coming in. He got us dinner. I think he coming in. What's up? You back? Sorry about that. But yeah, what was I? Yeah, so my car payment was like $40,000. No cap. $40,000, and it was $40,000. The car was not worth $40,000. The car was maybe worth $15,000. No, $25,000 at the time. But if you don't know this, whenever you buy a car and then you decide that you're gonna go trade the car in, you become upside down. So like whatever you owed on the car is now added to your new car balance. So on this Kia, the Kia Sport I had, I can't remember how much it was, y'all. I ain't gonna lie to y'all. I think it was like, I ain't gonna give y'all no wrong numbers, but let me just use real math, like easy math. So like say for instance you owe 10 grand on the car, you trade it in, right? You go trade up, like you're going up. You go out there and get a car that's worth 40 grand on by itself, and you owe 10 on your new payment. Your new loan is gonna be roughly 50 grand that you owe. It might be more than that, but it just depends. Now if you trade it in a car that's paid for, that's different. That's different. Because if you trade in a car that's paid for, which I don't recommend you ever trade in a car that's paid for. Keep it. Why you need to trade it in for? They only gonna give you what they want to give you anyway. Keep your car if it's paid for. Like Blonda, like that's her name. I named her Blonda. I love Blonda. Like if I ever get, like I already got my eyes on another car. I'm not gonna get it, y'all. But when I do get it, Blonda ain't going nowhere. Blonda is not going anywhere. Because when I tell y'all what I had to go through to have Blonda be mine, you gonna understand why. But anyway, being transparent, my student loans were, you go back and watch my video, my student loans were like almost 30 grand. They were like $27,000 by themselves. And then my car loan was 40 grand. So we're looking at what? 40 plus 20, that's almost 70 grand in debt. From just a car loan and student loans. So I was like, Lord. And thankfully though, during this time, thankfully I'm traveling. Travel rates are pretty good during this time. And, you know, it was a lot of room to take advantage of student loans, you know, paying off your student loan, because we didn't have to pay student loans during this time. Like I know I said the lady had called me and was like, the loans was gonna start back up before, but if y'all remember, they would tell us they're gonna start back, and then the time would come for them to pay them, and then they would push it back again. And then the time would come, and then they just pushed it back so long. I think they finally started up with the payments last year, but by that time I hadn't paid them off. So, I did a video on that too. But, yeah, so I'm like, man, I got to get out of there. This is not going to work. And by this time, I'm listening to Dave Ramsey. I'm listening to people like Anson Daniels, Pocket Watching with JT, just different financial channels on YouTube. Y'all check them out. That are really kind of opening my mind and enlightening me on, look, Zay, you think this is cool and cute, but it's not. So, I started taking contracts. I was already on contract, but I was consistent with taking my contracts. And I didn't really enjoy travel money. But I'm glad I didn't splurge it, because every contract I would take, I would have a different objective. Oh, I'm gonna pay my car payment off with. I'm gonna pay my car off with this contract. Oh, I'm gonna pay my student loans off with this contract. Oh, I'm gonna do this with this contract. Which, it didn't always go the way I had expected. For example, like my first contract, I was in the middle of that one. And I found, that's when I kind of had the switch go off. And I was like, okay, this week I'm gonna pay. And I knew what I was making. So like, I was like, okay, this week I'm gonna pay this much. This week I'm gonna pay this much. This week I'm gonna pay this much. And I'm gonna be transparent, because I already worked the contract. And I'm not doing the contract right. Excuse me. Ooh. Excuse me. I'm not doing the contract right now. So during this time, I was making like 4 grand a week. Was it 4 grand a week? Was it 3 grand or 4 grand a week? One of them. It went below 3. It was like 3 something to 4 something a week I was making. 3 or 4 grand a week I was making at the time. And I was like, okay, if I put this much on it every week. Now, granted, I had to account for rent. I had to pay rent still back, you know, other bills too. So I had to still account for those things. But I was like, okay, once I pay my bills, this check going to the student loans. This check gonna keep going to the student loans. Now, I was only paying off one thing at a time. So my first objective was the student loans, because those kind of hit me the hardest, because she actually calling me saying, your loan's about to start back up. I don't know why those hit me the hardest, because I owe more on my car, you know, but, and Dave Ramsey does teach to do the debt snowball, smallest to largest, but for some reason, I really wasn't thinking about the steps. I just went with the loans, honestly. So I was like, okay, big. Every week, I'm gonna put 3 grand on my loans. Every week, I'm gonna put 2, you know, whatever it was. I was putting lump sums on my loans, on my student loans, because I was like, I can't handle $400 student loan payment every month. This is not gonna weigh me down every month. No. It was something about it I just could not stand. I was like, I ain't getting that whole entitled thing like, oh, I'm a nurse, I deserve to have my loans forgiven. Well, you can say that, but if the loans aren't forgiven, you still have the loans. They're not going anywhere. Word to the why. Anybody, did y'all hear me? If you can feel like they should be forgiven, but if they're not forgiven, they're not going anywhere. They're still there. You can log in and see the balance. That's no shade. That's just what it is. So I had to have that switch on. And I'm trying to help y'all have that switch on too. I had to have that switch on. So, I know this video is not about my loans, it's about my car, but I'm gonna get there. So, you know, I was like, okay, I gotta put this much on my car, on my loans every week. Well, I did that. That took longer than expected because Joe was like, hey, you know, we're gonna push it out. And I did get distracted and kind of like stop paying it. Cause I would have been done quicker than I wanted to be done. I would have been, but I got distracted. Okay. Eventually I pay off the student loans, right? Best feeling in the world. Best feeling in the world. What? I instantly started on the car. Because I know I'm getting the car out of the way now. I know the car is... Now by that time, the car payment wasn't no... I didn't still owe 40 on the car. I probably owe like 36. Because, you know, I'm still paying car payments at this time, you know? And I'm paying a little here and there, but I ain't really aggressive with it. Next contract I took, I was making close to the same thing. Same thing. I'm putting $3-4 grand. There were weeks I put my whole check. I ain't gonna lie to y'all. I put my whole check on my car or my student loan. But there was weeks I probably made like $3,900 and I put 38 on the car. And I ate noodles that whole week. I may ate out once, but for the whole week I ate like oodles and noodles. I may have made, I don't know, sandwiches. Now, I'm real allergic to peanut butter. I'm not real, let me stop now. I'm not real allergic to peanut butter. Like, it's not gonna cause me to go into anaphylaxis or anything. Laxis or anything. But, it will cause my throat to scratch. It will cause me to, like, have a runny nose, eyes get itchy, all that stuff. But I ain't telling y'all to do this. But I love peanut butter, and it's cheap, it's easy. You know, I got me some chips. I used to make me some peanut butter sandwiches, oodles and noodles, but oodles and noodles have a lot of salt. But, you know, I did what I had to do during that time. I would have $100 left in my bank account, and I would put $3,900 on a card and that was painful. You know how painful that was as a new traveler? Because I wanted to go out here, I'm looking at people saying they buying this and going here and doing this and doing that, and I'm like, I want to do that too. Like... I wanted to do the same thing, like, but I had to put my money on my car loan. Because I was determined to get rid of that car loan. I was determined. It wasn't my money anyway. People be like, oh, I don't want to put all my money. But it's not your money anyway. If you have loans, if you have debt, it's really not your money anyway. You owe it. So it's not yours. Fast forward, we eventually get out of the car loan. It's done. Now, and I wanted to drive that part home. It eventually did get done. Did I stick with my original plan to pay off the car? No. The plan changed like 5-10 times. Like, oh, I set a date here. The date come, we not necessarily there yet. We getting closer and closer, but we're not necessarily there yet. Like, I may have said, okay, I'm gonna have it paid off by the end of the, I don't want to say. Well, yeah, I probably said, okay, by the end of this contract, I'm gonna have this much paid off. And then I get to the end of the contract, I may have like, what, 15 grand left. I'm just throwing out numbers, but I can't remember the exact time and all that. Okay, I didn't get discouraged. I know the balance was coming down. I saw it coming down. Went to the next contract. I was like, bet, we still in this. We still doing this. First check, it's going XYZ. And that's what I did. And eventually, I stuck with it. Y'all, I'm proud to say today, I don't have a car payment. And I don't have any student loans. But this video is about my car payment. I don't have a car payment. And that's how I turned my 6-year car note into a 2-year. I paid my car off in what, 22? I got a car in 21. It was the end of the year in 2022. So, I mean, it was like a year and a half, year and some change. Like almost, it wasn't 2 years yet. It wasn't even 2 years yet because it would have been 2 years in 23. March 23. I got my car March 21. I paid it off December 22. So it wasn't even a full 2 years yet. Wow, that is right. It wasn't a full 2 years and I had paid my car off. That's crazy. Whoa. I'm just realizing it because last year was 23, right? Yeah, I paid my car off in 2022. Y'all, that's amazing. That thing is sinking in right now. I was determined and I knew what I wanted to do. I wasn't really letting up. Lord knows I needed it more than I thought I did because I knew I was in NP school, nurse practitioner school. I didn't realize how much I was going to need to pay it off until now. Because now I'm in clinicals. Now I'm doing clinicals, not right now, but like in this point where I'm at now, I'm doing clinicals, I'm in school more frequently, and I can't afford to work as much to keep up a car payment. And even if I wasn't in school, it's like, who wants to work all them hours just to keep up a car payment? It's like, it's keeping you poor. So, yeah, y'all, that's how I did it. That's how I turned it into, and a lot of y'all might be saying, well, I'm not a nurse. I can't go work somewhere and make all that in 1 week, and maybe you can. But don't go out here. I suggest don't go out here and get a $700 car payment. Don't get any car payment if you can avoid it. Pay for the car cash, like outright, if you can help it. Car payments, it's a depreciating asset. The interest on it is gonna grow and grow and grow, but the car value is gonna drop. So it's not something you should really be, it's like pouring your money down something. It's not, your money could be going elsewhere and growing. I know that much. So, yeah, my outlook is just so different now. But yeah, that's how I did it, y'all. That's how I did it. Just a word of advice to any of y'all nurses out here, any travel nurses out here. If you about to be a nurse and you thinking like, I'm just going to ball out, do not ball out. I said this in a previous video. Do not go out here and get the most expensive car. You do not have to have a Benz just because you are a nurse. You do not have to have a BMW just because you are a nurse fresh out of school. There's nothing wrong with having it, but do it the right way. Save up your money, get it cash. I would prefer you get it cash. Get you an emergency fund. If you know you ain't had nothing, you ain't came from money, you start making a little bit of money, get you an emergency fund. Open you up some accounts like a Roth IRA, a traditional IRA. These are things they don't tell us, but set yourself up first, Put some money up for a rainy day, as they call it, but I do believe in a rainy day. I believe things do happen. You never know when your car will get a flat tire. You never know when you might need to replace something in your house. If you have a house, you just never know what could happen. So you never know when you have to take off work, be out of work for a while. So have money set aside. I say 6 to 8 months of it, your monthly expenses. Now, you should know what your monthly expenses are. But I say 6 to 8 months of your monthly expenses. Know what that is per month and have that money put up just in case something happens. Then you can go out here and splurge. But even then, I wouldn't say get no car loan. No. These cars lose value. All of them take you where you want to go. If you want a luxury, I'm gonna tell y'all, I want a BMW. I'm not gonna tell y'all exactly what kind I want, but I want a BMW. It's a certain BMW I really want. I've been looking at it. I'm not gonna go out here and get it. I probably could pay the payment, but I'm not finna go out here and get it. Like, I've learned too much. I've come too far. I ain't did all that work just to go back and get no car loan. But I know I'm gonna get it one day. I manifest it, If I'm gonna get it, I'm gonna get it cash. I ain't finna pay no loan for it. I'm sorry. That's all I got for y'all today. This was I think this is my longest video, but I hope y'all got something out of this. I hope y'all feel inspired, motivated, There is a light at the end of the tunnel. If you're in debt, keep going, keep pushing, If you gotta get a second job, get a second job. Don't listen to these people saying you shouldn't be working extra. If you got a purpose and why you working extra, like I talked about the other day on my travel nurse video, if you got a purpose and why you working extra, it's not gonna be forever. You know why you're working extra. And once you get yourself out of that hole you're in, you're gonna put yourself in a better position. You won't have to work extra forever. It's not gonna be like this forever. But you will have to make some sacrifices if you were like me and you put yourself in not the best predicament. Did I say that right? So, be willing to make some sacrifices because that's the only way you're going to get yourself where you need to go. Nobody's going to give you anything. That's all I got for y'all today. Oh, my light just went out. Okay, that's really confirmation. I guess it's time for me to go. Make sure y'all like, comment, subscribe. Subscribe. And until we see each other again, y'all be good.